Hola mi gente, ¿cómo están? Mi nombre es Alba Mar, me pueden decir Alba. El canal se llama Seriela y estamos aquí para hablar de libros, algunos de ellos en español desde Puerto Rico. Hello, my name is Alba Mar. You may call me Alba. Channel name is Seriela and we're here to talk about books and some of them in Spanish from Puerto Rico. And I'm here to do the Moody Reader Book Tag created by Brittany at Slanted Spines. I will include her channel down below in the show notes. And I was tagged by Hannah at Hannah's Books. And her channel will be included down below also, plus all the other channels that I mentioned during this video. So let's get going because Tuesday will be over soon if I don't do this on Tuesday, Tag Tuesday. The questions are, number one, do you consider yourself a mood reader? I'm a susceptible reader. I will be susceptible to, for example, a recommendation by booktubers that I admire and that I respect. For example, I'll never forget when Karen at Runwright Reads started talking about the book, the novel, Mother to Mother, a South African novel, and her review of that book was so engaging and so intriguing that I immediately went to Overdrive and borrowed the book and read it right away. And that has happened a few times. So I would say I'm a susceptible reader. Number two, do you set TBR lists or do you stick to them? Well, I try. I did a video about TBRs and how the TBR helps me to focus. For example, I try to keep in mind Njeri's advice to read with purpose. She usually finishes her videos with the invitation to read with purpose. And I think that that helps me also to focus and to organize my TBRs according to my purpose for reading, right? So yes, the answer would be yes. Number three, do books affect you emotionally? Does the mood of a book rub off on you? Well, yes, they affect me emotionally. And no, not necessarily. They don't rub off on me. No. Number four, when you're feeling sad, what do you read or do you not read? Well, probably some nonfiction that has to do with the reason why I'm feeling sad, and that has been that has been the way that I have dealt with situations, difficult situations in my life. I will, for example, when my mother told me that she was suffering from cancer, I immediately, went and got a whole stack of books about cancer. And not necessarily that they help, right, with eliminating feelings of sadness, but to me, it always helps to know that other people have gone through what I have been going through. Yeah. Number five, most often, do you use reading to escape, to learn, or to critically reflect? I read to learn. And while I'm learning, I hope I am reflecting critically. I admit that sometimes I don't, that I'm swayed by my emotions. But I try to read to learn. Number six, what is a book that made you laugh out loud? Fun question. So many. I mentioned in a recent video Runny Babbitt by Shel Silverstein. And if I can find it, I will put the one that I shared before. But try to get Runny Babbitt and read it. Oh, such belly laughs. And recently, right now, as a matter of fact, we're reading George Eliot's Adam Bede, and I've been surprised by how much it's made me laugh. George Eliot's depiction of provincial life and the congregants in the parish church. Oh, I love it, and it just makes me chuckle and gives me so much joy because I identify so much. And another book that made me laugh was Jenny Lawson's Let's Pretend This Never Happened. Very unusual and unique sense of humor about anxiety and mental illness. Yeah. Number 7, what is a book that has made you cry, or if you don't cry, one that really moved you? I always cry. I'm a crybaby, una llorona. I will read annually 2 lynchings at Cerro Maravilla about the assassination by the police of 2 independentista young men. And those first few paragraphs always make me cry. And then the Book 2 Prize, one of the Book 2 Prize books that I am judging now in this part, I think they're the quarterfinals, made me cry. I was surprised at, I cried at the ending, and I had to take a, I had to pause for a while there after finishing that book. I cried when I read Brian Stevenson's Just Mercy. I also cried when I read The Assassination of Fred Hampton because of the frustration of those 13 years in litigation. Yeah. And I cried in the first opening paragraphs of Svetlana Alexievich's Voices from Chernobyl, and I haven't continued. That really moved me so much that I've been scared of going back. But I will. But, I need some time. Number 8, what is a book that you didn't even know how you felt about? No, that doesn't happen to me. I usually know what I feel about a book. It's either good or bad. Number 9, are you more likely to read on a sunny day or on a cloudy day? Doesn't matter one bit. I would prefer it not to be a hot day, but what can I do? I live in Puerto Rico. Number 10, do you usually set the mood when you read? Okay. And here is where I'm going to take a little bit of time, and I hope you will indulge me. And I usually set the mood. If I'm not listening to an audiobook, I will set the mood with whatever music I think will match the book. For example, Pride and Prejudice, I searched out classical music of the Regency period. And if I'm reading Don Quixote, well, I searched for the music that was mentioned in the novel, gaitas españolas. Oh, great music. And I make a playlist of that. If it's, for example, for Malcolm X, I did R&B. I searched out the music that was mentioned there. When I read the latest book by Maris Condé, every single song that she mentioned in that novel, I searched out and made the playlist, and I would play it. The books about Puerto Rico, for example, The House on the Lagoon, and others, if they're talking about 19th century Puerto Rico, well, I usually search out danzas puertorriqueñas, which, is like the music of that time, salon, music, orchestral. And there was a content creator on YouTube called Ramoberg. I will put the last name up here. And he used to call him the maestro because he was a maestro of all things Puerto Rican music. Every genre of Puerto Rican music he had on his channel for many, many, many years. And he, in the description box, he would have the history or the biography of the composer or the group that was that he was highlighting. And when I searched out my latest playlist of danzas, precisely for the House on the Lagoon by Rosario Ferrer and A Taste of Sugar by Maricel Vega, I think it was, and also Daughters of the Stone, get it? He disappeared. Has this ever happened to you? That a content creator's entire work on YouTube disappears without any kind of explanation. For example, you know, there have been content creators here who have deleted their videos, but you go to the page is still there, and it will say no videos in this channel, or they have been deleted, or something like that. But he completely disappeared, and all the danzas that I had, Puerto Rican music that I had on my playlist, disappeared. How is that possible? If you can explain it to me, I would be very, very grateful. I talked to this, you know, about this with my daughter, and she gave me several ideas of what could have happened. You know, the person could have gone on another platform and taken his videos with him, or somebody, you know, changed the name or something. But it was a treasure trove of Puerto Rican music. Oh, and it hurt my heart. That really hurt my heart. Yeah. And damaged my mood for reading my Puerto Rican books at the time, because I couldn't find my danzas. Yeah. I usually search out music. And the last one, can you leap from book to book, or do you need a buffer time between them? Like, for example, that BookTube prize book that I'm not going to talk about, I needed some buffer time after that. You know, I didn't expect that I would cry, and but it made me cry, and I needed some time to reflect. I took the evening off, and then the next day, I usually get up very early in the morning, and I was raring to go again at 4 o'clock in the morning with my cup of coffee, which is how I do it. I'm not going to tag anybody because I looked, you know, I searched out the Moody Reader Book Tag, and it seems like everybody has done this tag. Everybody. But if you haven't done it and you want to do it, please feel free. It's a fun tag. I will leave it there because, you know, now I have to edit and do the captions, and I don't want to, you know, stay up too late. Yeah. So, take care, people. In Puerto Rico, we have had a spike in COVID, and it's been very disheartening. I haven't hugged my grandchildren in a year. Yeah, and I'm feeling that right now. So please take care of yourselves. Use your mask, wash your hands, you know. Do it for your loved ones. Keep on reading, though. Mi gente, cuídense mucho. Sigan leyendo. Los quiero. Adiós.